Hello, my oil friends, and welcome to today's class. We're taking our education beyond the basics in our continuing education series. We're thrilled that you can join us today. And we have been the last several weeks been going through an 8-week class series. This is class number 7. Last week we talked about the body systems and how important it is to understand the parts of a body system and how the body system works. And when you understand that, then you can actually understand what oils may help support that body system. So if you missed that class or any of the previous classes, don't worry, it's not too late. You can go to my YouTube channel, which is Caroline Lee, doTERRA Diamond Wellness Advocate, and underneath the playlist classes, you'll be able to review all of these classes for you. Like I said, today's class is going to be class number 7, and I'm pleased to introduce John Lee to you guys. He's going to take us away with this. He's a certified AromaTouch trainer, and so his job is to teach people how to do the technique and become certified. And so he's going to be with us this evening, and I'm just going to turn it over to him for the class.
Okay, thanks, Caroline. Good evening, everyone. Glad you could join us on this video this evening or today. Not sure when you're watching it, but glad you could join us. As Caroline mentioned, we're going to talk a little bit about the AromaTouch technique. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so the AromaTouch technique was designed by Dr. Hill. It's an aromatherapy technique that's meant to enhance the body's natural ability to find balance, or the idea of this thing called homeostasis. And homeostasis it's not a stagnant condition. It's the condition where your body is primed to react appropriately to whatever situation you might find yourself in. So there are lots of known things that can disturb the body's equilibrium or its ability to create homeostasis. Things like environmental toxins, stress, illness, lots of different things. So ideally, if we're going to live a life that is rich in wellness, or a life that is, a life that is the most healthy that we can have, then we need to have our bodies be able to appropriately respond to the scenario that they're in and whatever stimulus they may have. So that's what the purpose of the AromaTouch technique is. The AromaTouch technique was designed to be very simple. You don't have to be a licensed practitioner of any sort, a physical therapist or massage therapist. It was simple enough that anyone can do it, but the technique was designed in such a way that you can create powerful experiences for people and really create a lasting or a really profound benefit for the person receiving it, because of the technique, the way that you touch the body, and also because of the oils, the specific oils that are used and the order that they're used, just create a very powerful experience for the person not only giving it, but also the person receiving it. So the way it works, there's eight specific oils. They're applied on the person's back and on the person's feet, and then we'll get into specifically a little bit more on how that works, or like the way that you would move your hands across the person to enhance the absorption of the oils and enhance the effects of the essential oils. But we're going to touch on that a little bit. Okay. So let's go through the steps of the technique. The first step is stress management. There are 4 steps, essentially 4 steps to the technique. We use 2 different oils on each step. The first oil that we use on the stress management step is called Balance. For those of you that are familiar with Balance, you know that it's a fantastic oil. It has lots of great emotional benefits. It's very grounding. It's very calming. It's got a very woody, earthy odor or smell. It's a fantastic oil. I love to use this one as aftershave in the mornings after I shave, and it just kind of helps keep my face pretty. My wife's rolling her eyes a little bit. And but it also helps kind of set me up to have a great day. When used in the AromaTouch technique, balance oil is the introductory oil. It helps the person that is receiving the technique relax and become grounded, and just kind of primes the body for this aromatherapy experience that we're going to initiate with the technique. The second oil that we use is lavender. For those of you that are familiar with essential oils, you know that lavender is great for all things calming. It's very soothing. It's excellent for the skin. You can use it for hundreds of different uses. In the AromaTouch technique, we're using balance and lavender together specifically to create a very relaxed and grounded environment for the person receiving this technique. Okay, we're helping them get into a very a deep state of relaxation with these two oils, and we're priming their body for the next steps that are following after it. Okay, so the next step 2, we're going to move into immune support. So one of the main what's the word I'm looking for? Stressors that the body faces is that a compromised immune system can lead to all sorts of other health problems. Now, there are lots of different things that can compromise your immune system, various illnesses, toxins, just the environmental conditions that we live in with the fast-paced world that we're in, the food that we eat. Lots of different things can impair our body's ability to have a correct immune response. So what we want to do is support the immune system. And there are several oils that are very powerful that when it comes to supporting the immune system. So the first one that we're going to use is called Melaleuca. You might know it as tea tree oil. It's sourced from Australia. It's fantastic oil. It has lots and lots of really amazing uses. It's highly anti-inflammatory or anti-infectious. It's a really fantastic oil. In the aromatherapy technique, or in the AromaTouch technique, we're using this oil primarily for its immune support benefits, its anti-infectious or antibacterial properties, and we're using it in a way where we're applying the oil topically on the person's back. You're going to use, with all of these oils, I think I mentioned that before, but this technique is designed to be used for the very young to the very old, and typically you would use between 3 to 5 drops of each oil on the person's back. So no change, no difference with Melaleuca. You would use, depending on the size of the person. If it's a very small person, you might use less, like 1 or 2 drops. But for a typical adult, 3 to 4 drops is totally sufficient. But Melaleuca is it's the first oil that we're going to use to really support that immune system. So the second oil we use is On Guard. If you're familiar with doTERRA's On Guard, then you know that it's a fantastic blend. It's called the protective blend because it has rosemary and cinnamon and wild orange and clove. It's strongly antioxidant and antimicrobial, antibacterial. It's an excellent oil for using to support the immune system. So step 1, we promote relaxation. Step 2, we're fortifying and boosting the immune system. Step 3, we're going to help the body with its inflammatory response. All of those environmental toxins and things that the stressors that we expose our bodies to. One of the other issues that can result from those is that we have this kind of like runaway inflammation or inflammatory response that is over and beyond what our body needs in order to accomplish or to respond adequately to whatever the stressor is. Some inflammation is good in certain areas, and some inflammation, if too much, can be bad. It can lead to lots of different health issues. All we're trying to do here, I'm not trying to diagnose or treat any specific illness. All we're trying to do is support the body in a way so that the inflammatory response can be adequate and correct for whatever the stressor the body may face. First oil that we're going to use is AromaTouch. If you're not familiar with this oil, it's called the Massage Blend. It's excellent at promoting circulation. It's got great pain reducing properties as well. And it's really excellent at helping the body decrease inflammation. We use this one a lot with my father. He's got some complications in his extremities due to age and poor diet, and this really helps with increasing the circulation to his limbs and helps ease some of the discomfort that he experiences because of that condition that he's facing. So AromaTouch is a fantastic oil. The second one that we use on this step is called Deep Blue. For those of you that are oil lovers, I'm sure that you're familiar with this blend. It's one of doTERRA's most popular and definitely one of a gateway oil for many oil users is Deep Blue. One of my very first experiences with essential oils was with Deep Blue, and I can't go on enough about how fantastic Deep Blue is. I've gotten to the point where I kind of love seeing somebody that's complaining about a sore joint or a sore muscle, because I know Deep Blue is going to help them feel better right away. Very highly anti-inflammatory, has excellent pain blocking properties. It's a fantastic oil for anybody who's active, anyone with any type of joint pain. If you have not tried it yet, I highly encourage you to do so, because Deep Blue is really fantastic. Okay, step one, we're going to help the person relax. Step two, we're going to work on their immune system support. And step three is the inflammatory response. So we're moving on to step four. And this is where we're going to really promote the body's correct response. We're going to, with this homeostasis, this concept of homeostasis, there's two oils that we're going to use for that. First one is Wild Orange. This is one of my absolute favorite oils. It's just got such an amazing aroma, very uplifting and invigorating. It really promotes I just think of this one as my happy oil. It reminds me of traveling to the desert Southwest as a child to visit my grandmother and smelling the orange blossoms and in the Phoenix area. It's just fantastic oil. And used in conjunction with the second oil, peppermint, it promotes this. It promotes focus and attention, and it's energizing and invigorating. For those of you that are familiar with peppermint, you know that it has all of those properties. Just a great, fantastic oil. So in the first step, we help the person relax and kind of get into this deep state of relaxation, where we're going to really do some great work on their immune system and the inflammatory response. And here in the last step is kind of like we're bringing them out of that deep state of relaxation with two oils that are invigorating and uplifting and energizing. So that's what these two oils together are promoting within the body, and that's how we're promoting this concept or this idea of homeostasis within the body. So if you want more information on how those body systems work, refer back to the previous class that Caroline did on body systems. She gave you the link earlier on how to find that class on her YouTube page. Just a little extra plug for her previous class. Now, when we're using the AromaTouch technique, we're going to utilize some of the energy zones and regions of the body that are commonly used in Eastern medicine and Chinese science, or Reiki, some of the other energy working modalities. We're not identifying or we're not utilizing specifically any one of those modalities. We're just using. We're going to manipulate, or we're going to put the oils on and move our hands through these zones on the back in a way that may be familiar to those of you that are trained in some of these other modalities. But we're not trying to implement any specific other modality within the AromaTouch technique, we're just going to utilize the zones that are on the back, okay? So as you can see, based on the numbering on this chart or on this picture, the first zone runs parallel to the spine right along the, right along the spine. That would be zone 1, and the zones expand out from there, 2, 3, 4, and 5, along the person's back. When you're performing the technique, you would stand at the person's head, reach down, and pull your hands up through each one of the zones sequentially. There's some really great videos demonstrating this technique on doTERRA's website. You can go to doTERRA.com. Under the Our Advocates tab, look for the AromaTouch link. And on that page, there's a wealth of information, and there's videos specifically showing how to perform each one of the steps in the AromaTouch technique. Additionally, you can also search for those same videos on doTERRA's YouTube channel. We're also going to work on the person's feet. You'll notice on the picture on the right, those same 5 zones are repeated through the feet. Zone 1 correlates with the big toe and then moves outward from there. We're also going to manipulate the regions of the feet. Region 1 corresponds with the heel, 2 and 3, the 3 being the ball of the foot. When you're working on the person's foot, you would put a couple of drops of the oils on there. Using your thumbs, you would work the oil in, going back and forth across the feet in kind of a zigzag motion. You would start in region 1 and work down through region 3. And on one of the steps when you're working on the feet is called the 5-zone activation, where you would use both hands. You would start at the heel of the toe, kind of at the crown of the foot, and slide your finger down through each one of the zones. Again, there's a really great video demonstrating this on doTERRA's YouTube channel, or you can find it on doTERRA.com as well. But this is where we're working on the feet. And I didn't mention it, but one of the steps specifically when we're working with lavender essential oil, you are manipulating, or you're hitting the pressure points in the person's ears as a way of helping them to relax. I think that's probably my wife's favorite step, is when you work on her ears, but next to that, definitely working on her feet. She really seems to enjoy that. So for those of you that haven't had the opportunity to receive an AromaTouch yet, drop us a line or hit a comment in the video and see which part of it you like. Find someone to give you an AromaTouch, and then drop us a line and tell us which part of it you enjoyed the most. But working on the feet seems to be pretty popular. Now, for those of you that are interested in becoming certified in this technique, or being able to really implement it in your doTERRA business, or if you're a massage therapist or a different type of practitioner and you want to be able to add in aromatherapy as one of the offerings that to your current list of offerings, you can find a trainer in your area that offers the certification, the training and a certification. Again, you can find the information on that on doTERRA.com under that same link, under the AromaTouch, our advocates under the AromaTouch. You can find a trainer. As my wife mentioned, I'm a certified trainer. I do 2 or 3 trainings a year typically, based on demand. I'm always up for doing a training if there is demand, and I'm willing to travel. So if you happen to live out of Georgia, it's where my wife and I currently reside, and would like to have an AromaTouch training, you can find my information on that same doTERRA.com, on that same AromaTouch page. Look under the trainers, our trainers link, or if you find a trainer in your area, feel free to drop any one of us a line. Most of us that are trainers, we do this training because we love the technique and we love doTERRA. So we're happy to set up a training, and if you have a few people that you'd like to get certified, then we're happy to set up a training and get that going for you. As part of that training, we also cover the AromaTouch hand technique. This is an abbreviated version of the full technique. The full AromaTouch, if done properly, or if done without haste, lasts about 40 to 45 minutes. And the hand technique is abbreviated. You can do one of these in certainly less than 10 minutes, usually 5 to 6 minutes. And a hand technique is also something that is you can do in public. I've done a hand technique, to a stranger on an airplane or someone else. It's a really easy way to give someone a great experience with the oils, and it's a very modest or non-invasive way to help somebody if they're having to feel, if they're feeling insecure, if they're needing a little bit of, they're needing a little bit of emotional support. The AromaTouch hand technique is a really easy and effective way to give them a powerful experience with any essential oil. Again, we're going to utilize the zones and the regions on the hand. As you can see from the slide, the zones and the regions correspond to those respective parts of the hand. The zones of the thumb, the area of the hand that corresponds with the thumb is the first zone, and they number outward from there. So with the AromaTouch hand technique, if you're going through doing a regular or a full AromaTouch, you would use the 8 oils that we went over earlier in the video. And there's a certain steps, there's a certain order to follow that makes that experience an AromaTouch. If you're going to advertise this as a doTERRA AromaTouch, then I strongly encourage you that you do it the way that it's taught in the certification class, and that is, in the correct order with all the 8 oils. If you are confident using oils and you want to help someone have an experience with essential oils, then you're free to do whatever you want with that, but don't call it an AromaTouch if you're not going to do AromaTouch the way that it's taught in the videos. That said, if you're doing a hand technique, you have a lot more freedom to use different oils and to really just kind of customize the experience for the need that the person is experiencing. That said, here are some suggestions. Can you see this? Here are some suggestions for oils that you can use to help with targeted support for an individual. I'm not going to go through all of those oils. For those of you that are familiar with doTERRA oils, I'm sure most of those are common, or they are familiar to you, but needless to say, there's some really amazing doTERRA oils out there that you can use for very targeted support for emotional and physical ailments. The movement guide for the hands is very similar to how you would do with the feet. We'll overview those really quick. You start on the back of the person's hand. You're just kind of warming up the hand and helping the person to relax a little bit. You move your thumbs, start in the middle of the hand, moving them outward toward the edges of the hand. It's this movement called the dorsum stretch. It actually feels really nice, and it helps the person relax, kind of increases blood flow to the hand. It will help with the next step when you apply the oil. It will help with the oil absorption. You'd put a drop or two of the oil in the palm of the person's hand and rub it in with your thumbs. Again, you would go through the 3 regions of the hand that we illustrated on one of those previous slides. Region 1 corresponded with the thumb of the person's hand, but work that oil in with your thumbs, going through the hand. When you finish working the oil in, you're going to use your thumbs. Doesn't show the titling of these 2 steps, but you work the 5. So you're going to work through the 5 zones of the hand. Remember from the previous picture that zone 1 on the hand corresponds with the thumb, It's as if you're looking at the hand from the back side of the hand. It feels a little bit opposite when you're working on the person's hand, but the zone 1 is corresponds with the thumb. So using your thumbs, you would do a technique called a thumb walk, where you would walk your hand or walk your thumbs along that zone of the hand, activating all of the pressure points that are in the person's hand, and just working that oil in, really great, creating a great experience. The next step is called the interphalangeal pull. You go in between the fingers and using medium pressure. You just apply pressure in between the finger bones, the phalangeal bones. You do that 3 times, and that's how you perform the hand technique. Again, if you would like to see this demonstrated, there's lots of YouTube videos out there, or you can go find the AromaTouch hand technique on doTERRA.com. So with that, I will turn the class back over to Caroline so she can finish up with some of the administrative information.
All right, well, thank you, John. It was so fun to have you here, and I know that's your area of expertise. And so I really appreciate that you were able to jump on and help us out with this overview of the AromaTouch technique. This is the technique that I enjoy pretty on a regular basis, about once a month, just to help with my body's immune system support and inflammation response. And I really appreciate my husband and the knowledge and the time and effort he does to do that for me. Now, again, most of you guys are wellness advocates or wholesale customers, and so you can get the AromaTouch technique in a kit, and I would suggest using your loyalty rewards program. If you're not familiar how that program works, it is a great program to get free products. So if you, it's a monthly program that's completely optional, has flexible dates, well, the 1st to the 28th, you just pick a date to do it. You get all of your shipping back in product points. So it's a way to get kind of free shipping in a way. But anything that you put on there, you get your shipping back. If you do get to 50 points or more, you're actually going to earn an additional rebate based on where you are in the percentage rate. And you start as little as 10% and work your way all the way up to 30% up there. But it is just an amazing program. I use that all the time. If I do multiple orders, I'll press the process now button so that I'm always getting my my shipping back regardless of how many times I've done it. But, you know, you can also get a free product of the month if you do an order at 125 points and it's before the 15th of the month, they throw a free oil in. And this month it is the Lavender Touch that you can earn for free. So a lot of people like to bump their order up if it's an oil they need, that they use a lot of, or if maybe it's an oil that they don't have. So it does make that pretty flexible. I do like to mention the business opportunity because most of doTERRA's wellness advocates were users at the very beginning. They had amazing experiences themselves and couldn't keep quiet about it. And so this demonstrates a lot of the different ways that you can get paid with doTERRA. So there's a weekly Fast Start bonus, which is based on enrolling new people and getting paid on their purchases for the first 60 days. The second bonus is the Power of 3 team bonus, and this is with a loyalty rewards program. It's teaching the value of ordering monthly and how you can get a bonus and help others to get bonuses as well in the Power of 3 team bonus. The third way is unit level, and this does get paid out monthly after the Fast Start is over. After the 60 days, you move into getting paid based on where they are in your organization. And I love how this is deeper. And the deeper you go, the higher the percentage rate is. And for me, it just kind of encouraged me to help more people. Like if I help my builders build their team, my unit level is going to increase. And so I love that about this compensation plan. Obviously, you can see the different ranks, some of the leadership ranks and the average. These I think are a little bit higher than normal. Like a basic level diamond would make a little bit less than this, but this is an average number. Gives you just kind of an idea of what the possibilities are. as well. So our next essential oil class, Beyond the Basics class, is going to be our very last one, called Essential Science. So we're going to go into more of the science and the chemistry of essential oils. And so if you have never explored that, or maybe you're the type of person that thinks sometimes this is suggestive, but this is really a chemical response in the body, that you're going to want to check out this class and learn a little bit more about it. Now, again, if you missed any of the recordings from the previous classes, hey, it's all on YouTube now, right? So go to my YouTube channel. You can subscribe there, and it will send you notifications every week when I have a new class or a new video up. But you go to Caroline Lee, doTERRA, Diamond Wellness Advocate. These classes are all going to be found in the playlist entitled Classes, and you'll be able to review these. They're anywhere from 30 to 35 minutes, so definitely is worth your time to review and continue to learn. It also allows you an easy way to share with your friends and family. So if you know of somebody that really could use help with emotional health and mood management, right? Or better understanding the daily vitality and helping increase our energy and our vitality, our living long lives, then we may want to send that video with a nice note. So just wanted to let you know I'm really excited and grateful that you could join me, and invite you to subscribe to my channel and continue your oil education, because it really does make a difference. The more you know, the more that you can empower yourself and your family and your friends. All right, with that, take care.